Shots Daily. In today's episode, we see why Google is finally letting real money applications on Play Store. Before we start today's episode, we have a quick announcement from the team at FinShots. We have recently launched a new endeavor called Ditto Insurance to help people purchase health and life insurance for themselves and their families. Ditto comes with a spam-free guarantee, and we answer your queries free of cost. Even if you don't buy insurance, head over to Ditto Insurance now for unbiased, personalized insurance advice. The link is in the description below. Have you ever seen ads for fantasy sports applications? Like Dream 11, for instance, where participants assemble imaginary or virtual teams of real players in a bid to make money off of them. Or Online Rummy, a card game where you could potentially make a killing. Well, if you saw those ads and decided to try your luck by heading to Google Play Store, you will likely be met with disappointment. You won't find the app there. Instead, your search will throw up irrelevant results. And no, this isn't an accident. It's by virtue of design. Google doesn't want these apps on its platform. It doesn't want to promote real money applications. It knows that the potential for addiction is real and it will promptly prevent you from going down this road. So your only choice is to head over to the company's website and follow the instructions here to download the app. It's not as convenient and it's most certainly not ubiquitous. But now, Google is walking back on its policy. Starting from September 28th this year, Google will let a few real money applications, including fantasy, sports, and online rummy apps, list on Play Store. The pilot is expected to run for a year, and interested developers will have to submit their paperwork to make sure their application is available on the Play Store. And if things work out, real money apps like Online Rummy could explode in popularity. In fact, this isn't even unique to India. In 2021, Google extended that concession to 15 other countries, including the US. And yes, real money applications became popular almost overnight. But you could turn around and ask, why? Why is Google changing its stance? Well, many reasons. But let's start with the obvious. Don't be evil. This was the unofficial motto at Google for almost 2 decades. A catchy phrase formalized in their code of conduct during the company's early years. But in 2018, Google moved the code to the end of the document, almost relegating it to the bylines. Why, you ask? Well, because good and evil are amorphous ideas. They aren't signposts labeled right and wrong when you're navigating this complex world. It's not always obvious what the right thing is. For instance, consider this. Google didn't let real money apps on its platform for the longest time. However, this only opened new gateways for illegitimate companies to dupe unsuspecting customers. If you search for Dream 11, you won't find the app, of course, but you will find an array of apps that resemble Dream 11 in some way. Something like Playing 11 Dream Prediction, created by a certain Droid developers. It's not the same app, and it's entirely possible that you may be misled into downloading an application that may do more harm than good. Also, Google's reluctance to let real money apps on Play Store has had massive consequences elsewhere. People still install these apps by sideloading them, that is, bypassing Google altogether. This makes their devices vulnerable to malware, which is pieces of code that can secretly snoop on your device. It can get really bad really quickly. Finally, you could argue that there isn't anything particularly evil about real money apps in the first place. There is a difference between a game of chance and a game of skill. Gambling is betting on uncertain outcomes. A game of skill, on the other hand, depends on you, your superior knowledge, training, attention, and experience. However, most games incorporate both elements of skill and chance, so courts have relied on the skill test to separate the two. If it could be proved that a game is primarily a game of skill and not of chance, then the game is said to have passed the skill test. And in 2015, the Supreme Court of India declared online rummy, poker, and card games as games of skill. So why should Google hold itself to a higher standard when the courts see no issue with real money apps? Right? Well, it's definitely food for thought. But there's definitely one obvious reason why Google may be considering going down this route. It's a money spinner. When you download an app from Play Store and make in-game transactions, then Google gets to keep a cut, oftentimes as high as 30%. And while there aren't many apps that can get users to spend boatloads of money, Real money apps do it with ease, and it's a market that's growing. Real money games are worth at least 8,500 crore rupees in India, and it's growing at nearly 30% every year. Of the 40 crore gamers in India, 4 crore users dabble with real money. And if Google manages to expand the market even further and take a cut, well, this could be a massive game changer for them in India. But you have to ask, will this just open the floodgates and make real money apps ubiquitous? And what kind of impact will it have on people in general? You tell us. Thank you.